Evening and welcome to everyone, those who are present physically as well as those watching online. So our theme this evening is, anybody remember? Something to do with being light and achieving great heights. Yeah, so we're very pleased to have Sister Gemini with us. So Sister Gemini has been practicing meditation for over 40 years and also very instrumental in many of our products that we see at the PK publications in our shops and also online. And just at ease with everyone. She's a very inspiring speaker, very motivational speaker. And on a personal note, I've worked and lived with Sister Gemini for many years, and the sheer generosity and tirelessness. She's constantly bubbling with how we can reach out and how we can serve humanity. Without a further ado, Sister Gemini, I'd like you to come up to the stage and share your thoughts on the theme. Thank you.
Thank you, Dakshaben. Thank you. It's very nice to be here for those who are here in the present, in the center here in Wembley. I feel that it's an amazing experience to be in this beautiful environment, which is very spiritual and highly charged place. And those who are watching online, whether YouTube, Facebook, or whatever other means, I would say that I'm sure that you made this time to come and listen to what I have to say personally from my experience. So today's topic, in a way, I was thinking that in every human relationship, we all want to be at ease and light in our experiences with one another. And especially in today's time, when we are all being constantly bombarded with so many different pressures all around, or also deadlines, or apart from that, suddenly things happening that we have never thought about. To deal with all those, plus to look at ourselves in a way, our own growth or our own spiritual journeys, in fact, all that requires a lot of capacity to make sure that what I have to do for myself, but also my responsibility for others around me, at the same time to manage the relationships around with everyone, either at home, at work, or in the community, and make sure that everything is flowing and there's nothing that really stops. Now, to really handle all that and to keep all that absolutely intact so that nothing really goes out of my sight and I don't lose for a moment anyone, or I don't miss out on any experience, nor I miss out on serving someone who may need my help or support. So to keep the tab over everything, what is it that I need to do for myself so that I can constantly remain absolutely connected, but also light-hearted and easygoing in my communications and relationship with others. What do I do? So at every step, we require some sort of tools, right, to do this right. And these tools are not physical things, but of course they are spiritual, I would say more kind of a spiritual tools, and these tools actually lies deep within each one of us. It's a matter of finding out. And when I say matter of finding out, it means that I don't have to go out of my way and do something in order to find out about myself or my tools that I may have in my own life, that I could use it in such circumstances and situation. I simply have to, tool number one, simply have to look within. And when I say look within, it means that instead of focusing on the outside of me, which is outside world or the activity that's I am engrossed in, rather than focusing on what is happening that I see through these eyes and hear through these ears, whether it's news or whether it's incidents that's happening, or it may be stories, or could be any adverse situations. If I simply for a moment look within myself, so this looking within itself is actually a skill. And so we will look at these different aspects about our human personalities. One is the skills, human skills. Another one is tools. You see, like in our every home, what we have is that, we have different tools for different activity. For example, if I want to do gardening, I have set tools which I would use it for gardening. I mean, those tools, I will not use it for any other purpose in the indoors, in my house. So too, what I use in the kitchen would be those that I need for the purpose of maybe chopping vegetables or peeling vegetables or cutting fruits, etc. So you could see that what are those different tools that I need, and I'll have those tools in my kitchen cabinet. So similarly, when it comes to human relationships and connection with others and our environment and the situations that we are constantly in, we need to develop more and more tools in our toolbox. And what is a toolbox? Toolbox is really my heart and my mind, because I need to actually gather them and use it when I need them. So it's not something that I use it once and then it will never be used again. In fact, if I've used it once, twice, thrice, then that tool remains intact in my actually my personality, but also it becomes part of my life. And without knowing or without thinking, I'm using it. So it's like part of my kitchen drawer, something that I really want to use at the time of need, according to situation. It's there for me, and I can use it. So when it comes to a situation where I feel not very happy about a situation that I'm in, it could be to do with the person that I'm working with, or could be the people I live with. So it could be any reason that I may be experiencing. But if I am developing this skill to look within, to observe, I mean, this is something that it's a skill, to be an observer. When we go to see a play, we sit there in the audience, right, as an observer. We don't jump on the stage if an actor or actress is crying or laughing or dancing, that I feel happy or I feel emotional, I feel like shedding tears, and I would like to do the same to show my sympathy. But in fact, none of us who are sitting in the audience would do that. And we would not jump on the stage. But in fact, we are sitting there as an observers. So to observe is a skill, right? So when we can observe the external uh, situations like that. And we can sit still, doing nothing, but observing. And when I'm observing, watch yourself closely. Are you enjoying? Am I enjoying? Am I taking happiness from this? What am I doing? So at that moment, if I reflect, then I'll be in that moment rather than remaining engaged with the past or thinking about what I have to do tomorrow. So all these things where my mind is constantly wandering, sitting there, instead of watching, observing, enjoying, being in a present, and being part of that whole experience, if I allow myself to wander off in my mind in different directions, then I'm actually missing out. I'm losing out on time. I'm not able to get that experience. So, I'm not able to develop that skill of observing myself, of turning my attention inward, self assessing, looking within, and seeing what it is that I'm gaining or I'm experiencing or I'm contributing, whether I'm giving my sympathy, if it's in a situation where sympathy is needed, or am I expressing my compassion, compassionate feeling, what's going on? So if I'm not able to do this successfully, then the residue of that after effect is that I will feel let down by my own self. Why? Because that particular time I was actually in that moment, or that moment came to me in order to allow me to develop that skill of being an observer or looking within. I didn't take the most of it. And so next time round, the same test paper will come again. So if I'm not alert, and if I'm not again aware what is going on around me, instead, if I'm questioning, and when questions come in my mind, that in itself makes me feel heavy. So, when we talk about the lightness in my own self, that's first, but also lightness or easiness, or to be at ease in relationships. So if I am at ease in my relationships with one another, with my environment, with my surrounding, then there's deep down some skills that I have actually got it right. We don't think about it, but we have it. We are able to mix with everyone, talk to everyone, mingle with everyone without feeling hesitant, or without having to judge yourself or judge anyone else around you, or having any questions, because all these things makes us feel very heavy. And the ease and the lightness in our relationships and our sharing actually doesn't exist. And that creates an atmosphere which I would say is not conducive. It's not a light atmosphere. It's not a happy, joyful atmosphere. So when I was looking at that image of the flyer, there's a bulb and the clouds, I was thinking, yeah, it's where clouds are very light, and the bulb shining the light. So it really indicates to me that if I am feeling really, really within myself, all lit up, aware, awakened, using all the skills that I have, spiritual skills that I develop in human relationships, what we need is spiritual skills, really. And spiritual skills, they are the roots of each and every expression of joy and happiness. Because really, joy and happiness can only be maintained in today's iron age, as we see things around us are constantly fluctuating, changing. Moods are all over the place, maybe my mood or moods of other people. And so we are trying to manage and juggle all this. But if I have made this one thing about going within, taking time out, stepping away from the situations and not being judgmental, but also allowing myself to accept and embrace the situations and say to oneself, it's okay. It's not always the situations are in your favor. In fact, it may not be what you want to see, it may not be what you like, it may be absolutely opposite, and yet still you are able to go through it. So the inner development of human personality that we are all thriving for and wanting to have that in our lives can only come if I'm working at it. That means that it's not something that I do today and forget about it tomorrow, and then maybe after some days I remember I need to do this again. No, I need to actually work at it constantly and not give up despite of failure or success, or whether you have good experience or bad experience. You continue to work at it. In the Brahma Kumaris we use the word making effort or not to give up. So these are the things that really helps us all to make sure that whatever we have in us, in myself, whatever each one of us have, feel that there's something that's really creating heaviness, and not allowing me to be light. Either could be a fear that I may be having of person, or maybe a situation, or some sort of hesitation. I'm not able to express my views or my thoughts. All these little things create some sort of heaviness. And this is the vibrations or the energy. It's a low end of energy. One is the high end, another one is the low end. So it's kind of a low end energy, although it's positive, but it's low end. I'm not harming anyone, I'm not harming myself. But in a way, I'm not able to feel comfortable. I'm not able to be at ease in my own self. You see what I mean? I'm not really able to say that, yeah, I'm light, I'm happy. So, lightness is really happiness and joyfulness in our relationships, in our interactions, and trusting one another. So I feel that there are times when we are at the low ebb of our own energies, but that's fine. That experience or that exposure of having that low ebb energy, that in itself brings an awakening. Some sort of bells are ringing behind, my mind, somewhere in the far distance. Something I need to look at myself, and that's how I see that all these little bells are actually a pointer for me to look at myself. And so when it comes to that personal feeling of heaviness with one's own self, it actually comes from deep within. It's not coming from outside. It's very easy to point fingers at a situation that happened maybe this morning or yesterday or maybe 2 days ago, and I'm still thinking about that, and the way I'm feeling today, quite stuck, quite stale, quite um, not innovative or not creative because of what I'm holding in my head from maybe 2 days ago, 3 days ago. So, another skill that I see which is very, very helpful in order to help us to constantly remain light is really letting go. And so, and letting go is not easy, absolutely not easy. Again, because look at the human personality, we are all about holding on. We hold on to things, right? And that is my security, purely. Look at the small child. You give him something as a child, he has, a sucker in his mouth. And that's really after he has been looked after by the child, has been looked after by the mother. And the mother now has to leave the child in the nursery after a certain time. And the child is attached to the mother because that's the only person close to the child. And therefore, for him, it is absolutely an experience of being insecure. And so she needs security. And so that is the sucker that the child has, is a security. Or he holds on to a little teddy bear. Or he holds on to some object. It's a security for the child. So when we see somebody doing something, or if I'm doing something and I'm holding on, I need to go deep. And again, when I say go within, that's really my normal day-to-day checkpoint. In any given situation, that do I go within and check? So instead of me pointing finger at someone or to a situation, if I begin to look within and find out what is my insecurity in this moment, you'll be amazed to see that in no time you can actually pinpoint that. And the moment you've actually pinpointed that insecurity, you know what? How you feel is a feeling of aha. It's actually a very good feeling. It's feeling of, okay, you've actually let go. Because you know that is letting you down. That is not allowing you to have an experience of freedom. And there is a feeling of either out of insecurity, there is a feeling of being suppressed, or maybe feel that I am, pressurized. I feel pressurized. And the pressure is not coming from outside. Nobody's pressurizing. Nobody's saying anything, doing it. It's actually coming from that space from within. And that is connected to my thinking, my attitude. So you'll be amazed to see how all the answers about feeling heavy lies within. And so these are little things. For ages, we've been carrying that in our persona, in our personality, without knowing that I've been so comfortable in that environment. And I've continued to allow myself to be in that environment without realizing that it's actually damaging. It's not allowing me to grow. It's not allowing me to fly. It's not allowing me to reach to the heights that I want to reach, to my potential. And the moment I realize, you break away. It's like a chicken breaks away one day from the shell. A little, there's an egg, and how in no time you see the chicken coming out of that egg. And it breaks away from the shell. So that's how it is. We, human beings, we have amazing capacity. Mental capacity, intellectual capacity, emotional capacity, spiritual capacity. But to what extent am I allowing these capacities to grow? That is a question I need to ask myself. If I've really allowed my capacity to constantly A, utilize, B, allow the capacity to grow. There'll be many things that comes on the way, is in the way, it's stopping me. And that's up to me to find out. Again, the answers are all inside. And so this is where we need to see what is now the skill I require to identify that which is in the way. I need to get it out of the way. And that can only happen if I develop a skill. And a skill is developed by identifying what I am good at. Right? Each one of us, we are good at something. And so to face ourselves, by looking each morning, I would say, in a mirror of knowledge. And what is this mirror of knowledge? Mirror of knowledge is actually allowing oneself to reflect on a thought, on a positive thought, on a affirmation, on a powerful start of the day. No matter what I've been through, last evening or last night, just forgetting that and pushing that away. So again, pushing something away is a capacity, and not allowing that to come in the way. So the skill that here we require is the skill of being persistent in whatever it is that I have to do. You see, I give you an example. You work late nights and you come home and you have to do this. You are answerable to other members of the family, to take care of them, and you are the head of the family. Imagine how much you have to do for everyone, not just for yourself, but others. And so in a normal situation, we always keep others in the front, right? And thinking about shopping, cooking, coming home, cleaning, etc. So taking care of other people's needs who are with you, that is my responsibility. See, that is also important to fulfill that responsibility. But then what is my duty for my own development in that situation? So if that is ignored, then I can actually not carry forward or carry on for a long time in that way. Because I need to now help myself to upgrade my own self, what I would say self-enhancement, self-development. And so for that, I have to be very, very consistent and determined. Again, determination and to be consistent in what it is that I have to do for myself, so that I do not end up in the place where I feel I'm burnt out, or I'm not able to do it anymore, or I cannot do this, or now I need to give up something, things like that. So if I have such thoughts, which I would call it as weak thoughts, if I have these thoughts, this is where I need to stop myself, look within, and ask myself a question. What is it that I need to now, look for as a tool that will help me to come out of this situation? And the situation is feeling of frustration, or feeling of not growing, or feeling of not being able to perform and not give the best of myself, right, to others. Instead, I'm not even experiencing happiness. I'm not even feeling at all light in myself. Instead, what I'm feeling quite heavy, I'm quite feeling burdened, I'm feeling, oh, I need to drag this, what I'm doing, and feel like life is dragging, right? And it's not a nice feeling. There's no happiness, there's no joy. So what is the tool that I need to now introduce to myself here? You see, this is where every morning, if I can put in front of my mind a mirror. What is that mirror? That mirror is the mirror of a very powerful, practical thought. Because that thought that I would study, when I say not just read, of course I'll read, but I'll study that. It means I will keep reading that. I will keep reminding myself. I'll write it down and put it in some noticeable places throughout the day, or I'll record it in my voice. And from time to time, I listen to it so that it will make it very firm in my mind. This is what I need to be. This is what I want to become. So really my attitudes will be shaped according to those thoughts. And vice versa. You see, thoughts are connected to attitudes, but also attitudes are connected to my thoughts. So my attitudes will reflect in my behavior, or in my pattern of behavior pattern, which we call it. And so that behavior pattern in my life will be absolutely shaped with these thoughts. And so anyone can do it. You know, today you go to Inner Space Wembley, a website, and you go to the home page, or you go to the thought for the day, and every morning, it doesn't take a second to click on that and read the thought. You start off your day contemplating. Give yourself 5 minutes each day reflecting on that thought. And that is actually in front of your mind. Mind is like a mirror. Let it all come on your mind. Let it be on the mind. Let it stay on your mind. Revise it, repeat it, record it on your phone, because everybody has phone these days. Record it and listen to it number of times. Contemplate, experience. And this will enable you to actually feed your mind with a very nourishing, very powerful food, nurturing. It's called nurturing the mind. And you see the baby, the mind is like a baby. If the baby is nurtured properly, the baby is going to behave, right? If the baby is not getting what he or she needs, especially if the baby is not nurtured well, he or she is going to be all over the place crying, constantly in the need of right nourishment. And so our mind, human minds are constantly wandering, not able to be still at all. And the reason being, simple reason being, it's not being nourished. It's not being nurtured. And so it doesn't take a lot out of any one of us. We don't have to pay anything or anyone. We don't have to go to any shop to buy it. It's there at your fingertips. You simply have to remember. So to remember, that also is a tool. So that's a tool to add to your toolkit is remember. And so if I can remember the right thing at the right time, what to do, what skills to use, what I need to help myself with, then I will constantly actually build, moving forward towards the heights of what I would say happiness. And so what I need to do each day is accumulate happiness. And so I have everything in life. You can say on a gross, on a physical level, material level, but I'm not able to sit comfortably on the chair because I have a back pain, right? I'm in pain. I cannot sit. I cannot sit still. I'm fidgety. And so what's going on? It's physical body which needs attention. So we look at all these different aspects about our human life which adds to or take away our happiness and joy. These are the contributing factors to feeling at ease, to feel light in life. It's very important because the way I feel, each one of us, and wherever you go, in your workplace, at home, with your friends, or in the park, the way you feel, you are actually carrying yourself everywhere. You feel happy, or you feel light, or you feel heavy, you're carrying that energy. So a question to ask oneself, how do I want to be? Do I really want to feel this? Is this nice to be in this space? Do I really feel comfortable in this space? Is this space, is the space that is nurturing me? Is this the space that is really nurturing other people or bringing others close to me or taking them away from me? So if I am observing all these different things which is happening with me, around me, in front of me, then I can constantly keep using different tools and skills in order to help me to build my happiness, but also to make sure that I am really day by day feeling lighter in my spirit. And so I know that when we feel light in our spirit, then we are able to go beyond any such situations that will appear in front of us. Suddenly the scenario changes. Family, we say that something happens in our family, or natural calamities, or some sort of pandemic, anything can happen. To face all these things or deal with all these things, that inner strength and power which you accumulated, the skills that you have, actually is going to become very handy at that moment. It'll actually carry me through that situation, and I'll be able to focus on what needs to be done in that particular seconds. And so as a result, I'll be able to make the right decisions, the right move. And so when I'm able to make right decision for myself, then I feel very happy, right? You made a decision to come here. You made a decision, those who are watching online, to sit at home or wherever they are, to watch or to listen. So each one of us, we find our own place, or we find our own comfort kind of a zone where I find or I feel I'm comfortable. If I'm not comfortable with that particular scenario, instantly my mind will begin to get diverted. And what happens when the mind gets diverted? We start thinking other things. We are not able to be focused, right? And so these days, the most important thing for the mind to be absolutely stable is focus. Focus plays very important role. If I'm not able to focus, if I'm not able to be still, all these things adds to my mental state of being. The physical state of being, but also mental state of being. And so if I'm allowing myself to be really focused and experience what it's like to be focused. So this is an exercise as a result of practicing being an observer. And when I say being an observer, see but not see. That means that what I'm seeing has no impact on my psyche, on my mind. But, I choose not to allow that to be an impression. Because you see so many things, thousands of images are in front of us, right, every day. How much do you want to retain? Do you want to go through everything at the end of the day in your mind? No. There are some images, some things that you see, you don't even want to recall it, right? But then there are some very nice scenarios that you come across. You want to remember that because it elates your feelings. It actually uplifts your spirit. It gives you joy. It gives you happiness. And so you want to remember that. I came here last week. It was Wednesday, right? Today is Tuesday. Beautiful atmosphere. It now also is very charged. And I remember, I bring it in front of my mind actually, and I feel very happy. Because so many people were experiencing happiness being in this environment, being here. So when you see these kind of things, these are the things that I would retain. Because it gives me joy, it gives me happiness. So even if I go away and I don't come back for many months, this, what I saw, actually nurtures me, nourishes me. What I heard, what I experienced, you see? So there are many things in our life today that we could put a big cross, no need to think about it. It's past, it's finished, and we have to absolutely make it that and put a full stop. So this requires a great deal of skill to let go and put a full stop, make it a past, and not remember now, because it's going to take away that energy. So moving forward in life, if I have to constantly add to my treasure of joy, treasure of happiness, I need to do some deep work, what I would say inner work. And inner work is to be very consistent, to be constant at it, and not stopping. No matter what happens, I do not stop, because I know that my target, my objective is right in front of me, and my objective is I want to be really light, I want to be happy, I want to be like a light as feather, right? In my mind. And lightness is there in my mind, very happy in the mind. Nothing can ever make me heavy. So heaviness is something that really stops us from becoming innovative, creative, and also enjoy life. And so what you have in life today, you're not able to enjoy that, but on top of it, it actually sometimes, instead of enjoyment, it becomes like a sore thumb. As I gave an example of a chair, I have all the comforts, but I just find it very painful to sit on this chair because I'm in the pain. Physically, my body is suffering. So I need to sort that pain out. I need to sort that physical problem so that I can enjoy the chair that I'm sitting on. You see? So there are such things in life that we need to take action, sort it out, maybe go to a specialist physically to help ourselves, or maybe to take on some exercises or some stretches, to help ourselves so that we are at that point of feeling safe and happy, and now I feel that yes, I'm aligned to myself, rather than allowing pain to drag on and to pull us through life, which again, that pain takes away your happiness. Yes.
There's a question from the online viewers.
Mhm.
That sister, you spoke about being focused, being observant, and nourishing the soul. And when we are being detached observer, like seeing and not seeing, there are so many distractions available today out in the world. How do you, or what method do you use to keep your conscious clean so that those memories don't come back again and again?
Mhm. Traffic control. We stop that, shall we? So, long question, but short answer. For me, I like to um, adapt this practice of just being in that space, which I would say more kind of a silent space. And this space I have to create for myself within my own mind. So you can observe your mind to be, few compartments in your mind, and maybe one compartment is a room, which is a beautiful space where there is golden red light, or you can imagine what color light you like. Maybe orange, maybe red, maybe a light blue, or whichever color you like is healing color for you. Maybe a purple color. And so that color is in that space in your mind, and just let your thoughts be absolutely silent and still. So focusing can become easier when the mind is able to experience inner attainment. It's able to absorb that peace within. And so when I experience the inner silence, the inner space, to be a space which is safe space. And so keep visiting that space, keep going into that space, just be still. And so let us now experience that moment of stepping into that space. So let me speak few thoughts aloud so that we can all enhance the space that we can all have within our own minds.
Last question before you go to meditation. How do you sustain and draw strength from to be light always? Because there are so many things that pull us down, people, situation, and sometimes your own emotion. So how do you retain yourself from there, and where do you get the strength from?
Yeah. For me, I draw the strength from the point in my mind. I'm constantly, when I look within, as I said many times today, looking within. When I look within, I mean that I look within, inside myself. I see this beautiful spark of light, this point of energy, radiating 5 colors light, radiating energy. And this energy is such energy that it charges not just my own being, but also it spreads the light all around me. That light of peace, the light of love, the light of joy, the light of happiness, the light of purity. It is light, and it is white light, definitely, which has all the colors embedded in it. And so I'm constantly connecting myself with my own soul, with my own spiritual self, a point of light. And this spiritual being, the soul, radiating light, in itself is very nurturing. It's very fulfilling. It gives me strength. It gives me power. And so keep visiting this throughout the day, many, many times, whilst being engaged in no matter how many karmas you perform throughout the day, busier you are, in fact, you are able to do it even more. And it will become your personality. And this is where it grounds us all, makes us very strong. It gives us an anchor. It creates that foundation for me to stand on and not to be afraid. Takes away all my fear. So I don't have to work hard to let go, but I am. And there's so much self-confidence that everything will be fine. So there's a lot of assertiveness, but also positive affirmations that will hold my consciousness closer to my own belief, my own understanding that I am a powerful soul. I am a peaceful soul. I hold this belief. I understand it. And I know it. And I feel it. And this gives me great assurance and confidence. And I remain focused no matter what happens around me. Multi-tasks can come to distract me, yet still I can be involved with the task and yet still maintain my inner tranquility, inner peace. So let us all now experience this inner tranquility, inner peace, without losing ourselves into all the different commotions, all the different activities that are happening outside around us, so that I can maintain that inner happiness, inner joy. That is the fuel that will take me beyond, and that will reach me to the heights, increase my capacity, and give me that confidence that I am peace and I can be that. Peace is not passive. Peace is very creative. Peace is very powerful. And so let me focus my thoughts on that inner, powerful, sparkling, radiating energy, the spiritual being that is eternal, that is peaceful, pure, joyful, powerful, and this is my persona, this is me. I remind myself throughout the day, I am this. When I see others, I see them in the light of these beautiful qualities. They are also that sparkling, radiant energy. They radiate, each one of them radiate peace, love, joy, happiness, purity. And these qualities are innate qualities, hidden away within each one of us. We simply have to make time to look within and to find myself, to find that beautiful space. It is not far away. I don't have to travel anywhere. I don't have to spend anything. I simply have to step into that inner citadel, which is a very pure place, very calming place. I observe myself in this place, and I am drenched with the love that is emanating from within. I am nourished and nurtured. I'm charged with this energy, and I feel I'm ready to be in action once I fill myself with this inner strength, nourishing powers, which helps me to rise above all obstacles that come along the path. I am light. I am love. I am joy. I am happiness. I radiate this beautiful happiness all around my presence wherever I go. It is tangible and I feel it. This is the fuel for my feeling light. Let me allow this to grow in my life by practicing it, reminding myself, remembering it, nurturing it. Just be. Just be present in a moment. Let go and let it be. Everything is right. So when everything is right, I feel light. And when I feel light, I feel uplifted in my spirit. And when I'm uplifted, it's easy to go beyond and above. Nothing can touch me from this world. Om Shanti.
you. You'll join me in thanking Sister Gemini. Such an insightful session. Just to recap a few things that was mentioned, learning to value yourself, enhancing yourself, and for that, studying first thing in the morning. So giving time to yourself first thing in the morning, and throughout the day, remembering the right thing at the right time. And he emphasized on the perseverance, determination, and learning to let go. And so this way, we can stay light and achieve a lot more. So just to underline a few more things, like she mentioned, maybe start a day with some positive thought. So for those of you who haven't signed up for our thought for today, you're welcome to, and it will be dropped at your email box first thing in the morning, and then you can start your day with nice positive thoughts. You know, when we have sometimes a technical error, we start receiving messages, what happened to the thought for today? So we know people are listening and watching, reading them, and taking a lot of benefit. And also, if you haven't signed up for our lecture notice and newsletters, please do. This is all available through our website. And also, you can subscribe for our YouTube channel. So then you're posted with all the events. Many of these are recorded. And next Tuesday, our aim is going to be a say while you speak. So mean what you say, basically. And we were lucky to have our visiting sister from Spain, Maria. So she's going to come to do the talk. So it will be both available in person for you to come or watch us online. And we would like to encourage more people to join us in person. And certainly our quiet room is also open Mondays to Saturdays. We're mostly here from 10 to 5. And on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we're here till at least 7. On Tuesdays till 8, actually. So do come and visit our quiet room as well. And just to flag up our Raj Yoga meditation course, so next month we'll be conducting a fast track course, so it will be every day of the week from 4th July to 10th July, and that will be at 5:30 to 6:30, and it will be an online course. So, and we do take a lot of requests in person as well for Raj Yoga course, so feel free to contact us. Thank you once again, Sister Gemini, for coming. Janti, have a good evening, safe journey back home.
Thank you.